Hello, this is Mr. Frank, and welcome to our Learning Target I Can Simplify Expressions, Day 2. So let's get into it. Remember this slide from yesterday's video? I just wanted to do a quick refresher on combining like terms. So remember, when we see the same variable, we can then combine their coefficients and create an easier thing to look at. So rather than looking at two different terms, we can combine them because they both have an x variable here, so they're part of the same x family. Then we can do 4, our coefficients are 4, and then minus 2, so we could do 4. We could change subtraction to addition and change this 2 to its opposite. So it would be 4 plus negative 2, which would get us 2x. 2x right there. So we can combine like terms. Let's look at one that's a little more difficult. Let's go to the bottom here. So recall what we do with color coding here is I put all the families together by color. So we have the x to the 4th power family in orange. We have the x cubed family in, I guess that's aqua. Then we've got the constant family in yellow. And then we would add like terms. So we'd add the coefficients. We have 10 plus negative 7 plus negative 3. That actually equals 0. We have x cubed plus negative x cubed. That equals 0. And 8 plus negative 8 equals 0 as well. So it's really important to color code. If you don't have colored pencils, that's fine. You can use different patterns. Like you could do a straight line and a squiggly line or a dashed line on different families to identify what they are. So figure out your own designs and have some fun with it. Hey, I want to point out some things that you need to watch for. There's some common errors that people make when combining like terms. So if we know what they are, then we're less likely to make them. So the first one is recognize that a single letter variable, so here r is by itself, it really means it has a coefficient of 1. So r equals 1r, and negative r equals negative 1r. We typically don't write the 1. It's understood that it's there. So just know if you see just a variable and there's no coefficient, assume that there's a 1 or a negative 1 if there's a negative sign in front of it. Second one, careful not to add coefficients of unlike terms. And this is just paying attention to detail. So here's an x, this is in the x family, x family, x family, x family, y family. Make sure when you add this, you're adding only the x family together. And then in this case, there's only one y, so we would take that. So don't just add another variable because to a different family because it's there. So you got to watch your families. All right, number 3, be sure to identify all the like terms in a sum. So here we've got a 2x, we've got a 4x, so we're going to add the x family together. And we would get 6x. And here, we've got a y family member, a y family member, and a y family member. Sometimes people might just add these two, the 2x and the 4x, and then the 3y and the 5y, and they might forget the 6y. Don't leave any terms out. Make sure you identify all of them. And then the last one is careful not to make sign errors. So if you see something like, minus 9, you can change, minus n, you can change that to addition. So you're adding the opposite, right? So if you like that method, and I know most of you do, then make sure you're changing subtraction to adding the opposite. All right, so make sure you don't do those errors. Let's do, we'll do practice. I'll do one with you. So here we've got, let's see, how many terms? Remember terms? Terms are things that we add together in an expression. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms here. And let's find everything in our x to the 4th power family. I've got 3 different terms in our x to the 4th power family. So I'm going to now add the coefficients, or do what the term is. So I have 12, and then minus 5, so I could do plus negative 5, and then minus 4, so I could change that to addition, so it's plus negative 4. And if I put all of those together, I'm going to get 3x to the 4th. Now let's find another family of terms. I see an x cubed family and right there. Those are my x cubed. So now I'm going to take the coefficient. So I have 4 minus. Now there's a 1 here. Remember, when you just see a variable, you have to realize that there's a 1 here. So it'd be 4 minus 1 or 4 plus negative 1. and I would get 3x cubed. And now I've got my constants. My constants are part of a family. So I have 5 minus 7, or 5 plus negative 7, and that would be negative 2. So that's a practice I did with you. I want you to do these 3. You'll do them in Edpuzzle, and then you'll come on back. All right, let's see how you did. So on this one, you should have had, we've got 10n. I'm going to change subtraction to addition. So it's plus negative 4n. And then I'll combine the coefficients. So I have negative 10n plus negative 4. And that would be negative 14n. Hope you got that right. Next one, I have 2n minus n. And remember, there's a 1 here if we don't see it. So that would be, the coefficients are 2 and then minus 1. So we can say 2 plus negative 1. And that equals n. That equals n. Now, when you do this, 2, I could have done plus negative 1. That equals 1n. But we don't need to write the 1 here. Again, we know that it's there. So if we ever have an answer of 1 and then a variable, we could just write the variable. That's fine. And now let's go to the last one. Let's underline some of our common terms. So we're going to combine like terms. So we have an x family here. So I have 4x. This is minus 6x, so I can do plus negative 6x. I also have my x squareds. And then I've got my constant. So when you combine like terms, you should have negative x squared minus 2x plus 7. If you're having trouble with any of this, maybe go back to yesterday's video or re-watch the top part of the practice here. Or maybe go back to the previous slide and see the 4 things that people often do to make a mistake. All right, so hope you're getting it. If you are, let's move on. So let's apply this to geometry. Let's apply what we learned. If we want to find the perimeter of this rectangle, and I'm telling you one side is 3x minus 3, one side is x plus 2. Now we need to find the perimeter. How do we find the perimeter? Oh yeah, that's right. The perimeter is when I add up the length of the outside of the shape. So I know this side, and I know this side here. Well, this top side here is going to be the exact same as the bottom side. And this side is going to be the same, the right side is going to be the same length as the left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this all together. So I know this is also 3x minus 3, and I know this is also x plus 2. So I'm going to add 3x minus 3, that's this side, plus 3x minus 3, that's this, plus x plus 2, that's this side, and x plus 2, that's this side. So now if I add all of that up, I will get my perimeter. And look, there are a lot of terms here. I've got 8 terms to combine. So I need to figure out my different families. So here I've color-coded here in orange and black. I've got my x family, and I've got my constant family. And if I combine 3x plus x plus x, that would give me 8x. And if I combine my constants, minus 3 plus 2, I get minus 2. So the perimeter is 8x minus 2. I want you to do this one with the triangle, find the perimeter. So add up all of the outside lengths, and you'll get your perimeter. So you're going to do that in Edpuzzle and then come on back. All right, welcome back. I hope you put this as your original expression. So we have x squared plus 1 plus 2x, which is this side, plus 3x plus 2, which is this side. And we find our families. So we only have 1 in the x squared family. Make sure you didn't add the x squared to a different family. So we have an x squared. We've got a 2x plus a 3x. We add the coefficients. That would be 5x. And then we add our constants. 1 plus 2 would be 3. And that's what you should have gotten. Hopefully you did. So let's get a little more practice before you come to school tomorrow. I want you to do these 3 in Edpuzzle. So you'll pause here and do that, and then come on back for the end of the video. All right, I hope you did well on those problems. So please answer these 2 questions. I learned or was reminded of, and questions that you have are. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in school.